Hey everyone, today I have Sean Devlin, a teacher of English who has been teaching for more than 10 years now, and he's accumulated a lot of interesting tips and tricks that he will kindly share with us today in terms of how to sound confident when you speak English. I guess me, not being a native speaker, of course, have all these problems Sean will be talking about today. So let's see how many I could nail from that pronunciation he delivers today. And then maybe we'll make it a little bit interactive and I will try to do some exercises and see how far you can go with all those tips and tricks Sean shares with us. So, Sean, I'm passing it over to you.
All right. Thank you very much, Veronica. So, hi, everybody. My name is Sean Devlin. I'm from America. I've lived in Minsk for a while, but yeah, I've been an English teacher for quite a while, and so I'll try and give some of the most helpful and quick tips that I have come across in my years of teaching. This can help not only with English, some of these tips, but just speaking and communicating in general. And then towards the end, I'll get into some more specific pronunciation tips with English sounds that aren't found in Russian and other languages. So I will share my screen. And by the way, Veronica, I wouldn't call them problems, they're just challenges.
Sure.
Challenges that we can certainly overcome. So, all right, here we go. Bit of a slideshow for us. So, how to sound confident when speaking English, whether it's during an interview uh, or any other situation. Uh, Sometimes I call myself Sean America. So, if you want to contact me, feel free to message me on Telegram, Sean America. All right, so I'll try and go through a lot of this quickly, and feel free to ask questions, Veronica, or anyone else if you want. So, communication skills can be broken down into two areas. We have our visual image, right? And we have our vocal image. So, visually, that's how we look, right? Our clothes, our hair, our body language. And then our vocal image is revealed when we start to speak. So we often think about how we look, but we don't often think about how we sound sometimes, but it's very important. Um, when when you see someone, you make assumptions about them, but when you hear them speak, those assumptions become beliefs. So maybe you appear to be an expert, but when you start speaking, people will believe that you are an expert. So here are just a few vocal foundations, and I'll just quickly, their volume, rate, intonation, silence, and breath. And then again, towards the end, we'll talk a little bit about specific pronunciation points. But so, volume. When you are on a call like this, I have a microphone right beside my face. So I don't have to increase my volume very much. If you have a microphone way over here on your computer, you should make sure you have enough volume to reach the microphone, of course, because a good amount of volume shows confidence and authority with whatever you are talking about. Right? So on camera, you should try to increase your volume just a little bit, something to keep in mind. Okay, here's the next one, dynamic rate of speech. So you don't always want to speak quickly and you don't always want to speak slowly. Um, think about what your main points are. The more important points, you can slow down. And this, I will mention this again when I talk about intonation, but the less important points, right? You can speed up and those words can be a bit more quick, but your most important points Say them a bit more slowly so you're sure people understand what you're saying. It seems like common sense, but sometimes it's important to consciously think about these things. Okay. Um, okay, here we go. This is what I was mentioning with the intonation. So, a lot of people don't realize that different languages have a different kind of musicality to them, right? So, Russian, for example, also Spanish and lots of other languages are syllable stressed languages. So, as opposed to English, which is a time stressed language. And what that means is if you're if you notice, Russian speakers don't really stretch out certain syllables so much. In English, that happens a lot more. So if you just listen to me talk, some of my syllables, and everybody knows what a syllable is, I guess, right? The beats of what we are saying. Yeah. So if I say that, the beats of what we are saying, you can hear downbeats of in a sentence, right? And those stressed syllables are actually longer in duration than the shorter syllables. And I'll mention this again in the end when we start practicing the th sound, for example. So words like the, yeah, and of and those articles that we find. Well, of is a preposition, but these short words are very short. And then the more important words are actually longer syllables. So it's important to remember that our voices are like instruments, right? So we can portray not only information, but actually emotions when we're speaking. So the emotion under our voice, we have 6 core human emotions. Who knows what they are? Interaction here, right? Veronica, what are our emotions? Can you name 6?
Yeah, let me give it a try. Core human emotions. Something like happiness and things.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, happiness is not the most
You
often
can
one.
you can think about that Disney Pixar movie, or just Pixar. I
Like
don't know.
tension. Can that
What is
be?
it? Inside or something? I don't remember.
Excitement,
Is
fear.
that it? Okay, there you go. So happy, you're right. Sad, obviously. Disgusted, fearful.
Alexandra says sadness.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah,
Sad.
that
Yeah.
was the second one. Yeah.
And there's one more, anger. Right. So the way that we can portray or express these emotions and control that consciously is with our facial expressions. So if I am just talking like this and my face is like this the whole time, I'm not smiling or anything, it's really hard to sound happy or anything other than how my face looks. But if I smile, immediately you can tell that my voice sounds a bit different, right? You don't want to smile the whole time, but that goes with the dynamic rate of speech. Don't be afraid to have some facial expressions, especially over the camera. Uh, and something I just thought of actually is sometimes you can look at the camera, and that's how you can make eye contact with. See, I'm looking at Veronica right here, but now it seems like I'm looking at you now, right?
Yeah,
So
absolutely have this feeling.
you don't want to stare at the camera, just like you don't want to stare at the person you're talking to, right? But sometimes it's good just to glance at the camera, and it makes that person feel comfortable somehow. Okay, the pause. So this is the silence part of what I mentioned before. So some people are afraid to be quiet while they're talking. It, they want to keep some sort of sound coming out of their mouth all the time, and if they stop talking, they feel very nervous. But it's okay to pause while you're speaking. When you pause, it gives people time to process what you have just said. It also shows that you are thinking about what you're saying, right? So, especially in an interview, if someone asks a question, even if you already have your answer ready, you don't want to just jump right in and start talking like this. Blah, 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 blah. Have a breath, think about it, and pause. This also helps to remove what we call filler words, which happens, even native speakers have this issue. Uh, you know, those filler words like that. So, filler words make us sound kind of shy and anxious, and we don't think about this again, but it can make a big difference if we just take those filler words um, uh, and replace them with silence like this. People won't think that you're that they won't question that. It will sound natural. Promise. Uh, so silence just helps you appear more confident. So you know that you have something important to say. If you pause for a moment, people will wait for you because um, it makes it seem like you know you have something important to say. So, okay. Question: do you ever feel short of breath while you're speaking?
Me, definitely.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, or I can start having that nasty cough at the
Yeah.
moment when I need to say something cool
Yeah.
and
That's why
important, and you
the
just
the cough is why this is a pause it and
yeah,
cough.
exactly.
I'm a big proponent of the mute button or the cough button. Um, and so, and I do too. Sometimes I feel short of breath. Nervousness can affect our breath control. So, breath control is very important, not only for speaking, but I have a 6-year-old son. I tell him so often, deep breath, buddy. Like, deep breaths help with so many things. They really do. I'm sure that we're all aware of that, but it helps to be reminded. Um, right? So, breath control helps with everything we just talked about and more. So, you can learn to control your air supply. And if you learn to do this, you'll sound less choppy like this when you're talking, and you'll sound more relaxed and confident when you're speaking. Okay, so here's a little interactive part. Okay, so we might not realize, unless you like to do yoga and listen to some yoga teachers. We'll talk about this a lot. But our lungs are kind of shaped like a triangle or a bag, with the bottom of our lungs are bigger than the top of our lungs. And a lot of people will breathe into their chest like you can't really have a full breath like that. So if you can try to, we can do this together now. Allow your stomach to expand when you breathe, and you can think about breathing into your stomach, which will um, fill the bottom of your lungs first. Okay, so we can practice by let's fill our lungs to capacity and watch as your abdomen slowly returns. Your abdomen is your stomach area, right? As it slowly returns to resting position. So first, breathe into your stomach, and then you can breathe into your chest, and then you can notice how easy it is to breathe in fully when you allow your stomach to expand. And especially on camera, no one can see your stomach. Don't worry, just let that tummy come out, you know? And then what you have is a big supply of air that can be slowly released, right? So let's try to practice that. Big breath in, and then just relax it out. Right? It goes out pretty quickly, doesn't it? Okay. Now, if you blow up a balloon, for example, and then you just let go, it will quickly all the air will escape. But you can control the opening of the balloon, and you can make the balloon sing, right? I'm sure everybody's done this, and you have a lot of supply that you can control that. So the end of the balloon is our throat and our mouth. But if you have a deep breath and then just control how that air comes out, and this might require practice if it's not something that you do a lot, but if you notice, I haven't taken another breath and I've been talking for a long time, and then I have another breath. If I think about it, it's it's kind of hard to do, but um, that will not only help your words be more clear, but it will give your brain oxygen. It will help you think better as well. So, does that all make sense? Pretty clear? Yeah.
Yeah, I
Okay.
remember they taught us how to breathe when I was pregnant because it was very
Right.
important at that point. And it's only then when I realized how important it is to be able to control your breathing. It also
Mm.
helps you when at the process of giving birth to a
Yeah.
child. It helps tremendously, really. No one
Wow.
realizes it until you come to this point. And even now, when I started breathing with my abdomen, I just felt so different when
Feel a
it
bit
just
more relaxed too, I think. And
yeah.
I try to make this a habit. Habits are something that I talk a lot about in my courses, but well, I don't want to give you a quiz, Veronica, but I'll just tell you, habits, at least how I define a habit, is something that you do without thinking about it. And the way to build a habit is to consciously make yourself do it, and then you'll do it without thinking about it. So, yeah, I don't know about pregnancy. It feels like your stomach is already expanded at that point. I don't. I think that might be a little different sort
Yeah,
of
I mean,
breathing
it's
exercise
about
as
the
well.
length of
Oh, okay.
each breath that they teach you,
Gotcha.
that it should be long and you should be consciously making it very long, like stretching
Gotcha.
it as far as possible. And then it really
Okay.
helps because lots of women, they just start panicking and they start
Mm.
breathing with this very short, breaths.
Well,
And
yeah.
then it just gives you even more fear and panic. And when you try to make it as long as possible, you start getting this control over the
Mm.
situation and you just relax and you
Yeah.
realize you can do it until the very end.
Yeah. Well, I'm certain that childbirth is more stressful than a job interview, but it's the similar idea, right? If you feel nervous, well, we won't have those deep breaths and we can't talk right. And we sound like we're not confident, like we're not an expert in what we're talking about, even if we are. So here's something I just threw in here. Practice makes permanent. So if you want to practice an interview, if you ever want to do that, just message me. I should have put my thing back up here, but it's t.me/Sean America, or just ask Veronica, and I'm
Yeah, I will
happy
add the
to
link under the
schedule
video
a
on
call
my
together.
YouTube
Yeah,
channel.
cool. All right, so here we have arrived at the quick pronunciation tips, and oh, well, I don't have all these slides here, so I'm gonna exit this one. I'm gonna go over to, here's a little preview of what my lessons sometimes look like. Um, so I brought two of them up. Now, these are two of the most difficult sounds for non-native speakers to make. I don't know if we should talk about both of them, but we can quickly mention. the R, right? Because in Russian you have the R, right? The R, R, R. I don't think there is any sort of sound, is there, in Russian? And
Yeah,
most of our
definitely
listeners are Russian speakers, I think.
our
Yeah,
sound is absolutely different for sure.
absolutely different. Yeah. So it's one of the most difficult sounds for non-native speakers, and tongue position is the most important. So we can quickly look at this. Now, we don't have to read all of this. This is just my full lesson. Um, so I'll quickly give you a little intro here. So this is the way I teach this. Okay, this is your mouth. Okay, these are your teeth. Okay, and this is your tongue. Okay, this is your throat here. So can you picture that? This is the roof of your mouth here. So I can kind of show you how to control your tongue here. Okay, so for the R, you bring your tongue up pretty high, and you can press the sides of your tongue against your top teeth, so your top molars back here. When I say I can feel the sides of my tongue actually kind of pressing against the teeth. Not really hard, but it's touching the teeth here. And what that does is it creates a narrow channel here. It's hard to show with your hand, but it's like a spoon. It's kind of like a spoon shape here. Er, er. Now you don't want to allow this part of your tongue to touch anywhere. So there's actually no contact with the top of your mouth. Okay. So try that, Veronica. Try to get a good
Yeah, let me try. Er,
Oh, that's
er.
excellent.
Cool. Yeah, but I guess I pronounced it differently until now when I
Er.
heard this
Oh,
explanation.
really? Well, a
Because
lot of people do it in their throat. They'll try to say
er, yeah, and I
when you
guess
bring the tongue back, but
mhm.
it's in your mouth actually.
It would be cool to practice in examples, right? So
Okay, yeah, let's do that. Let's see. Okay, so here are 5 examples, but let's go to the next one. Okay, so we have bring first, art after, and there. Do you want to practice those?
bring first, art after, there.
See, Veronica's a star student, guys. This this sound requires a lot of practice. I just wanted to mention it quickly. We don't have to stay on this one too much longer. Really. We can though, and if you want to practice more, contact me. This is what I do all day long. So let's move over to the th sound because we'll have some more examples in which we can practice putting all of this stuff together. Okay. So the th sound is another sound that is almost unique to English. There are some other languages that have this sound, but in English, there are actually 2 sounds for the th spelling. Both of these sounds are pronounced in the same place in the mouth. So you actually put your tongue out and touch your teeth. The only difference between the 2 sounds is that one has the voice with it, so and the other one has no voice, it's just airflow. Yeah. Does that make sense enough? Now, I thought I had a diagram, but you can just see my hands here. So if you put the tip of your tongue just barely past your teeth, you can stick your tongue farther out if it, just to, if this sound is difficult, and just let the air flow gently across all of your teeth, the front 2 teeth. So give that a try, Veronica. with no voice, just the airflow.
I don't know if you can hear me.
Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah, see, if you were my student, I would say, I can't see your tongue really. Stick it out more. There we go. So it might feel awkward. It might feel really weird, kind of like when I tried to say the letter. I see, I can't do it. I don't know. So that's hard for me, but the more you practice, the easier it will become. And a good exercise for this is have one of those deep yogic breaths like we were talking about, and then release gently on the and just find a comfortable way to produce that sound. You can throw in the voice too. And it might feel ridiculous to do that, but sometime while you're cooking or whatever, cleaning or whatever you're doing, something that doesn't require brain much thought, you can practice this. We can do a good exercise with releasing it. So you don't have to say words. It's just like practicing a musical instrument. Something I sometimes say is our mouth is like a band or a orchestra, maybe. We have all kinds of musical instruments. The is one of those instruments. You have to be able to control that and come out of the R too. So you can practice with ear, or with this. We can look at some example words here. Let's read these 3 words. This symbol, by the way, just means or voiced rather. So we can say that, the, these, then, and brother has the R there too. Okay, do you want to try that, Veronica?
So that, these, then, brother, something like that.
There we go. Yeah, the R there, I think you sometimes have a more of a British pronunciation, which is fine. A British person would say brother, or brother. They wouldn't pronounce that last R there, but I teach the American accent. So let's see. Here's a few tips for this TH sound. So to make this sound, the tip of your tongue should be between your top and bottom teeth. It can touch the bottom ones too. It's okay. You don't want to bite your tongue or press too hard because that will stop the airflow and it might sound like a T or a D sound.
But it should be sticking out, right, from your mouth.
Well,
a little bit.
Sometimes you can just put it on the back of the teeth. That's okay. Just make sure it doesn't touch here, because then it's hard to have that airflow here and it doesn't sound like a TH. Especially words like 3, through, with an R right after the TH. You can put your tongue right on the back of the teeth, and that way you can pull the tongue back more quickly. 3. Try to say 3.
3.
Yeah.
Tree. Okay, that's a tree. 3 or 3?
See, that's the difference, right?
Yeah,
so here,
3.
I have some minimal pairs here, I think. Let's see, where are my minimal pairs? Well, thought I had some minimal pairs. Well, let's look at some of these phrases. Now, these phrases are using the word the. Okay, This is from my reductions section, but okay, this also has to do with what I mentioned with timing or intonation. I think is when I mentioned this. Um, so the word "the" is a very quick word. Um, let's see here. Let's skip that slide. Too many words to look at. Let's just look at examples. So the way I sometimes tell people that you can pronounce um, the th or the word is by removing the e. So here, this example, the first sentence, rather than the car, it would just become the car. So there's really no e sound. It's not the or the car. It's just the k, the k. So it goes straight from the th sound to the k sound. The car. Try that one. The car.
So the car. Park the
Perfect.
car around back.
Yeah. Park the car. Good. So remember, I mentioned downbeats, and if you listen to, you can listen to a British accent too, or American native speaker. You can hear there are what I call downbeats. So if you're not a musician, maybe you don't know what I mean by downbeats, but if you listen to music, you can hear the dun, 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 dun. So there's a downbeat and an upbeat, right?
Yeah, so it's a
One
rhythmic.
and two and is the upbeat. Yeah. So if you can, as an exercise, you can listen to maybe an interview or anybody speaking English, and you can try to listen for these downbeats and upbeats. Um, and they're not necessarily rhythmic like music, but I'm getting to a point here. So the upbeats are shorter in duration. Remember how I mentioned English is a time stressed language? So the most important words in the sentence are going to be the downbeats. So, for example, this first one, park, is an important word in that sentence, right? What else is an important word?
Car.
Car, yeah. And then also
And
back,
right? Mm.
yeah. So all the other things would be shorter syllables. So park the car around back. So around is not emphasized. Does it sound shorter syllables when I say around? Park the car around back. Try and say it like that.
Park the car around back.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, so it's
And
very
that
rhythmic
for
English.
for a native speaker's ear, that is much easier for us to understand what you're saying rather than park the car around back. That would require more listening. I would say, what? Oh, okay, I gotcha. But let's try another one. So the table, say the table.
The table.
Yeah, nice. Rather than the table, the table. The table is set for two.
The table is set for two.
Yeah. So four becomes one of those short little
Mm-hmm.
syllables as well. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for bringing so many examples here. I think we can just leave it for guys to practice, right? While watching this video.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we can keep talking about that. We can go practice some R if you'd like. I wasn't sure how long this would take here.
Yeah, I guess
So,
it's just great that we brought those points about R, about TH, so that Russian speaking people just get conscious about these very
yeah.
moments, because these are the trickiest ones, I guess.
Mm.
The others are might still okay go okay, but these are
Well,
yeah,
uh,
definitely the most
if you
difficult.
want, I already know some other ones that are particularly challenging for
Hmm.
Russian speakers. I can pull up another one real quick if you want, or we can practice these. Um,
Well, I'm not sure if we need to extend it into such a long,
mhm.
video of all the things, because that's more for maybe if you start your own YouTube channel and share all that there, then it would be more to the point for English speaking, English teaching content, right? And for now, I just want to say once again, thank you very much for bringing all those points about intonation. That's
Yeah,
just so important, and that the point that so many people miss in even in everyday life, and of course when going for the interview. Pauses, going slow and then fast at certain points. Absolutely true. When I start getting nervous, for example, I just start speaking so fast. And as if, I don't know, my brain thinks, okay, if I speak too fast, then it will make some impression, or, and then,
right.
yeah, I just
You
don't.
might feel like it sounds impressive if you speak quickly, right?
Yeah,
But
maybe if I'm just too quick, they will think I'm so smart.
yeah, I was gonna pull up actually the intonation lesson because I actually didn't even explain what intonation is very well. And I can quickly give a little thing, unless we need to stop.
I guess we could.
There's so much to talk
I
about, but
would definitely just cut this video, maybe a
okay,
number. The first one will be about intonation, about all that, how to
okay,
sound confident. Yeah, more about intonation. Then the next one will be about pronunciation, R and TH sounds, and then because anyway, it shouldn't be too long. People won't watch something that
yeah,
is very long. And yeah, so wrapping it up, I also wanted to bring one more example where you can get some inspiration. I guess everyone have heard about TED Talks, right? They have YouTube channel where you can find a billion of videos, and that will be a great example from both storytelling perspective, right? The way they capture your attention and just keep it all the video, and the videos are relatively short there. It's sometimes
mm,
just 10 minutes, right? And you watch it and you can practice from both English, just expanding your vocabulary and things, and also intonation and storytelling. So would be
mm,
great from all those
yeah.
things.
Real quick, I want to give this to everyone. So this is a website called youglish.com, and it's amazing. Did I ever tell you about this website? I
No.
love it. I use it all the time. So you can select all accents, US American accent, UK accent. These aren't as accurate. They're pretty accurate, but if you're ever not sure how to say something in English,
Mm-hmm.
like give me an example. I don't know. Um, you know, um, design interview. I don't know. Let's just say, and click say it. You'll have sometimes thousands of examples. We'll just say interview. All right. See, there's 38,000 examples of different people saying that word, and you can just skip through them very quickly and hear how different people say that word or phrase.
Mm-hmm.
And
Cool, like a
it's really useful.
compilation of um, many, many
Searches
examples.
YouTube, and
Mm. Even from YouTube.
yeah, that's where it pulls it from. It searches YouTube for that specific word or phrase. Yeah.
Cool. Thanks for
Um,
sharing. I
yeah.
will paste all those links under our video,
Mhm.
and you can find the link to contact Sean there, and all those useful tips useful links we mentioned, Youglish and stuff. Okay, thank you
Yeah.
very much, Sean. And in the
Thank
upcoming
you.
videos, we will definitely film role play a technical interview where I will try to apply all those principles Sean mentioned today: intonation, pauses, going faster, going slower.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll see you soon.
All right. Thanks.